Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today I'll be playing the Hikaru bot, who's rated pretty high, and I don't think I can beat him. And Hikaru's a pretty famous chess streamer from Twitch, that's why they made a bot from him. And this is known as the modern defense, where black plays bishop to g7, and I think it goes after this. I think I can either play this or knight to c3. I think knight to c3 is the main move, and I'm not really sure what the move a6 does. Probably prevents my pieces from going to b5, but I can maybe play f4. I haven't really studied any of modern defense theory or lines, so I'm not really sure what to do here. So just gonna play a natural development move like, although I can't really play bishop to d3 since my pawns hang, so might as well do knight to f3. And he's going pretty aggressive on the queen side over here, probably. I don't think he's gonna do this since all of his pieces are not developed yet, like this, the knight. And this move probably overextends, and not really sure what it's for, but probably just gonna play something like, I'm really not sure what to play here because I just know so little. I know really little about this position. I guess we can do this. And there's obviously some pressure on this pawn, so I don't mind the castle over here. I think we got a pretty decent position going on. Some nice center control, but he also has these two fianchetto bishops. So next move is probably going to be e5. And I'm wondering if d5 is a good move, or the exchange. So if e5, d5, he's probably gonna do something like c6, and if I take, he gets maybe a free development of the knight. But what if I play d5 right away? Well, he can still do this line, and also the knight's coming. So I might just do a pretty natural move like rook to e1, which sort of pressures this long diagonal. Well, not diagonal, but file, since he's not castled yet. And this is one of those positions where he just kind of controls the center with his pieces, and I've watched lots of his videos, and he sort of does this sometimes. And I don't know if the bot did this on purpose, but it's pretty common. So if he goes here, then I can just, I guess, back off and rotate over here. And I'm betting his next move is this or this, which I don't think he's gonna play, or knight to f6. And I think we can just do this for now, bishop to f4. And I kind of was expecting this move. Well, actually, I lied. I didn't think of this move at all. So now after I take, he takes. What if I just back off to bishop to e3? This sort of pressures this pawn a bit, but if I push here, here, and his pawns, even though they're pretty extended, they are kind of powerful, and this move might also happen. So, and I am just I feel like this is already slipping. Not a lot, but we can just close the position in with something like this, and now what do I do? That's the question to basically every single game. What do you do from here on? And I feel like I don't think this is a good move, although take, dunk, he can go there, so here, I feel like all of my pawns are a bit weak, and they need some reinforcement. We can also kind of start to play something like this to stop the forward movement of these pawns. So sometimes it's playing these spots, they can give you quite a lot of time to think about all your moves, or I can just play a waiting move like h3 to stop the knight from coming in. I'm expecting this move, but I don't think so because I can just take this pawn, right? That's what I think is going to happen. So I also don't really like this move from black, so maybe I can play. But then again, if I play b3, then this diagonal becomes a bit weak. Well, actually fragile, I should say, but do we mind it is the question. I think we do, since our knight is pinned to our rook, so we can't really easily move our knight. So I think we can just do something like, I think a3, maybe h3. Let's go something like h3. And castle's pretty standard stuff. And one line we can do is to go queen to d2 to try to trade off this bishop. And I've seen many people do it, but is it actually good? Is the main question that we're asking here. And another fancy thing we can do is to trade a piece for 2 pawns, which isn't necessarily good, but it's not a blunder. So queen up is probably a pretty flexible move since it allows the other rook to come in, but what will black do? I don't think he's gonna do this, since after I take, well, I've got some weaknesses on this pawn, so if he does this, take, maybe take, and then this, I don't know if this is any good at all. But I don't think he's gonna play e5 either, since I can en passant, and this pawn is once again weak. And all of this might be blunders coming from me, but I'm not that strong of a player, so shouldn't expect me to know everything, you know. So I think we can play this move, a pretty flexible move. And now now all my plans with this pawn is stopped because he can play this, and all of a sudden I can't take this pawn anymore. So do I like this move is the question. Because after he takes, I take here. Okay, let's run this through a bit. So after this, takes here. Another thing is he doesn't necessarily have to take. I think he might not be able to move his knight. Might be. I'm not entirely sure. But I think we can. Another idea is to play this, which I don't think is that bad. So, or you know what, we can just bring our other rook into the middle. And here we already have a pretty interesting position, because after I take, he has double pawns, which are pretty bad. So, and it blocks his dark squared bishop, so I think we'll actually do this. And now his pawns are just not good, but my bishop is also not good, since my 2 main pawns are on light squares, so probably need to figure out some way to get this bishop off the board for this bishop. Well, maybe for that bishop. I don't know a lot about this game, so you can see I'm all these things I'm talking probably don't even make any sense, and I am once again unsure of what to play here. And another idea I have here is to probably maybe put my bishop back so I can push this pawn. However, in doing so, it allows this bishop to reactivate, so position is not sure if it's necessarily good, but I don't think it's too bad for me either, so if I reroute this knight to go here, let me think, if I go here, then my bishop gets trapped. Yeah, my bishop gets basically pretty much trapped, so I have to think of some pretty... I can do a4, which gives him a pawn island. You know what? If I go here and he does this, and if I take, he takes not a pretty great position, but I don't hate it either. Now, yeah, I think this is a pretty decent... Oh, I didn't think that move was gonna happen, but here we are with b4 on the board. And if I move my knight to e3, I think my bishop's trapped, because after here I can't take, so I guess we can do something like... Yeah, this position is just not really good for me, actually. To be completely honest with you, I think we will go here to maybe play this move, and he's just going all in. And this isn't... I wouldn't say it's necessarily good for him, because I've always had some pressure on this pawn. I feel like they're just a bit overextended. Yeah, so all of his pawns are pretty powerful, but what if I just hit them with all of my pieces? Like, although if I go here, if he pushes, then I move my knight back. But if I go here, and then he pushes, that probably is not good for me at all, so I'm not really sure which push is better, but what if I just don't push at all? That's another good decision, I guess. Or another idea is to put some pressure on this pawn, something like queen to e2. Maybe also rook over to play this. But then that just allows the pawn to move to c3, and my knight's in just not good position. So I think we'll do this. And he pushes. I was kind of expecting that move, and think at this point we can... Yeah, look at my pieces. They're just not good at all. I mean, 4 of my pieces are in the back. Got the knights in the back as well. Maybe I can play queen here at some point, but he can probably just do this. And I have to figure out some way to create some counterplay. And especially in these positions, it's not really easy to do so. So I think first we'll go with probably, yeah, the knights coming in. I mean, the position is already crumbling, and we can do this. This is just really not good for me, so now he has a lot of defense on this pawn, and I don't think I have any sufficient way of getting some extremely quick counterplay. So also, what if we just push this pawn over here? Take. Well, then he has probably some pressure over here. I think I need to maybe do a reroute on one of my knights, but I'm not really sure how to do so. I also don't want to block in my rook's view of this pawn in case some nasty attacks happen later on, so think we will go something like, or we can just put our rook up, which I didn't think of. And imagine if he goes a Greek gift on my pawn with the queen. That'd be pretty funny and unexpected, but so there's some pressure on this pawn, which is not good at all. And as you can see, basically everything about my position is crumbling, and final crumble falls like this. And maybe we can start to put some pressure on this with a knight. But this position genuinely isn't good for me, so I'm not really sure of what to play here. The question is, I should probably move my queen right now since the rook is in the view. And I don't think I'll go to here since it blocks my bishop, so probably question is, do I go queen to e1 or c1? I'm probably gonna go with c1 to add some extra support. And again, as you can see, I'm getting something called a nagging pressure. It's a really annoying feeling that you get when you're pretty much losing the game. And everything's just, really hate this weakness I have over here. But then again, if I lose it, then his pawns will just break through. So, but now I can do something like this. And I might just maybe be able to get some not so good counterplay. But then again, his queen will just slide over, and it's not a good thing. This is just one of those moments where you really have to think it through, because I think I like this move. Because now I can plant my knight on here, but he just stopped it. Now, what would be really lovely is if I could get my bishop here so that there's a pin going on. And we need to remove the defender, which is this knight over here. We also need to protect this. Probably gonna put some more pressure on the pawn by knight if I move my knight back. With something like this. And all of a sudden I'm just going from losing to really losing now. And I'm actually thinking that maybe my rook will be trapped. And as you can see, well, everything is crumbling down. I mean, the entire house is crumbling down. And I don't see much hope here. If I go like this, then he just takes my pawn. So I think we have to do this. Yeah, I'm pretty much dead lost now. Because all my pieces are just not good placed. I think I might even do a sacrifice, like, at some point to open up my pieces. But then again, there's not much hope left. Because my coordination is just so bad. And even if I do a sacrifice, then he doesn't even take back. I mean, even if I do a sacrifice, he's still winning since this is just not good. Not good at all. And as you can see here, I'm probably just gonna resign in like a few more moves. And the queen's gonna get in here. Everything about this position is just not good. Not good at all. If I do this, then let's mate. So, kind of thinking it through, as you might say. And now the threat is rook to d1. Check. I can't just take this pawn, since after here, here. And I already feel like this position is pretty much lost. My last hope is probably to try and bring this king over. Yeah, and I resign. That's basically it. I mean, we just got outplayed by a 2700 level robot. Not that unexpected, but let's do a quick little analysis. Played at 87 accuracy, which is not that bad, but the bot played at 98 accuracy. That's like how good a 2700 level bot is. You can see here he pushes this pawn, and yeah, we jump to the end, but let's go here. We're actually sort of up at some point, which I find really interesting, and they like the knight all the way back. And here you can see the main factor of the game, factor where I lost, is when I play knight to a2, which the computer thinks is really bad. And if I got here, the computer thinks this position is rather trash. And I don't know why it likes that, but I'm not the computer, so I won't understand. And as you can see here, we actually played some pretty good moves. Computer likes all this, but as you can see, we got outplayed. That's basically how I have to say about this game, is we got outplayed. Got outplayed not by a regular 1000 rated player, but by a 2700 bot. That is how we got outplayed by a 2700 skill level bot. And this is basically the end. I mean, yeah, I resign here, but I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more, and I'll see you all in my next video.